Hi, welcome to What's Cooking with Rochelle. Today we are making fried rice, and I chose today to add some shrimp because I think sometimes people are a little intimidated with cooking seafood. So we're gonna add shrimp into it. If you don't wanna make it with shrimp, no worries. You could add ground pork, sausage, whatever, tofu if you wanna make it vegan. And so we are going to get started. This is a great way to use leftover rice. So if you've gone out and eaten Chinese, or you just made it for something else and had extra, you can scale the recipe to the amount of rice you have. So we have about 4 cups of rice. We are going to combine that with 1 cup of peas and 1 cup of carrots. If you don't like carrots, leave out the carrots, add more peas, or vice versa. You could even sub out and add other vegetables, super easy. We have 4 eggs. We are gonna beat those up. Some soy sauce, sesame oil, and green onion. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my shrimp and we're gonna cut them into bite-sized pieces. That way when you're eating your fried rice, you get a bite of everything. And we are going to be cooking these on the stove. I am going to cook them in a separate skillet so that when we are all done, if somebody likes shrimp, they can add shrimp. Somebody doesn't, they don't have to have it. And that way, if you've got a picky family, somebody on a diet, you can adjust this so everybody gets to eat it and you're not making 2 or 3 meals to satisfy everybody. And at the same time, fast. So these shrimp will cook in just a couple of minutes. I am going to get my skillet on and just put a little bit of olive oil. Okay, we are going to sprinkle our shrimp with just a little bit of pepper and salt. And just let that sit there while we're getting the rest of it ready. Okay, so the next thing is we're going to beat our eggs. And just like the shrimp, we are actually going to cook our eggs separate. You could beat these with a whisk to get them really light and fluffy, but we're just going to do this for a minute. Okay, we're going to season our eggs just like we did the other with a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt. Now we are going to add 1 tablespoon of water to the eggs, and we are adding our soy sauce. That's just going to season the eggs really well. I'm using a low sodium soy sauce. Okay, let's give these shrimp a stir. We're going to put our cooked shrimp in there when they're done. Our peas and carrots are already been steamed. You can boil them, steam them, but you do want them cooked prior to mixing them in with everything else. They are going to come up to temperature when we put them in with the rice. The next thing we're going to do is cook the eggs. You can tell shrimp are done when they're pink and not gray anymore. Normally, I'm not a fan of buying pre-cooked seafood, but this is one dish that if you bought shrimp already cooked, you could use that. And then again, simply just dice it and bring it up to temperature with your peas and carrots. See how fast and easy. Shrimp will keep cooking once they're off the heat for just a minute. Okay, bring the oil up to temperature again. And then we're going to add the eggs. You're going to want to just swirl your eggs as they're cooking. Keep them light and fluffy. All right, now if you don't like the color that the eggs turn when you put the soy sauce in with them, just cook them separate from the soy sauce and add the soy sauce in later. Okay, so we added about 1.5 tablespoons of regular oil, and we're going to add about half of the sesame oil in there. Get this up to temperature. Then you're going to add your green onions. The green onions we want to get just to the point where they're starting to sizzle, and we're going to add our rice. So you could see if you already had cooked rice on hand, cooked shrimp, and goodness gracious, it doesn't take long at all to get everything else together. We're just trying to get those to release a little bit of the oil. We're going to take our cooked rice, put it in here. And cooked rice is sometimes a little bit stiff. Okay, you're going to want to push it down. And this is sometimes the hardest part. You have to just let it sit there. And we're going to let that cook for a couple of minutes on a fairly high temperature. We want to get a nice crisp rice on the bottom side, and you'll know that when you hear it starting to sizzle. And then we're simply going to add the rest of our ingredients back in. We're going to let that cook now that we've stirred it for just a couple more minutes, and then we can add the rest of the ingredients back in and dig in. Okay, let's get the rest of this stuff in here. All right, and that is it. Fried rice is complete. We're gonna add the shrimp at the very end so that each person can make it how they want. I'm gonna go ahead and plate this. I'll see you in a sec. Okay, let's dig into our fried rice, guys. Let's grab a shrimp. Such a quick, easy meal. And fried rice is generally a crowd pleaser. If you like it spicy, add some sriracha. Or if you want more soy sauce, or you want to omit the sesame oil, make it how you and your family like. I appreciate you watching this episode, and if you liked it, subscribe below so you can get the next one. I see you on the next episode of What's Cooking with Rochelle. Bye for now.